Hello friends, welcome to this lesson. Today we will learn about Hindi vowels. In our last lesson we talked about Hindi consonants. If you would like to review that video, you can find its link in the description below. So in this lesson we will learn how to write and pronounce the vowels in Hindi. As we all know, Hindi uses a script known as Devanagari script. Let's start with the first vowel. The first vowel we have is a, a, closed mouth, a sound. A. It also sounds like this. A, a. Okay. So here in brackets I'm denoting the sound, or you can call it the closed mouth a sound. And if you are writing Hindi words or sentences typed out in English letters, transliterating it in English, then the best way to note down this particular letter a is using the letter A in English. A, a. Let's see how to write this one first. We start by drawing something that looks like a number 3, perpendicular line out, straight line, and then just the line bit of it is covered on the top, leaving the gap open on the top. Just the long line is covered with the top line from left to right. Okay, this is a. All the consonants that we've seen earlier, like k, kh, g, you remember we were noting them down with the a letter, ka, kha, ga. In all these consonants, you would notice that this a is nothing but the same closed mouth that we are learning here in vowels. So this particular vowel sound is like an inbuilt sound in all the consonants. It's present in all the consonants. Once we start writing down 2 or 3 letter words, we will know why this sound is present in all the consonants. But for now, let's just remember this closed mouth a sound. Your mouth is partially closed when you're pronouncing this. This sound is written like this in the Devanagari script. This is how it's written and this is how it's pronounced. And if you're typing out this particular letter using English letters, like sometimes we are sending messages to our family or friends who speak Hindi. So if we are not writing it down in the Devanagari script, but we are just writing down some words or sentences or phrases in Hindi, but written down in English letters, then you would see that this a sound is usually written with a from English. Okay, but remember it's the closed mouth a sound. So that's our first vowel. Let's go to the second one now. The second vowel is a. A sounds like a long a or a double a. That's how it sounds. So in brackets I'm trying to write down how this letter sounds. Usually this one is also noted down or written down with a single a letter. Okay, we rarely see people writing a sound with a double a. Mostly you would notice that they are typing the first vowel as well as the second vowel. Both these vowels, a as well as a, they write it down with a single a letter. Okay, so here I'm indicating how you would find this particular letter or sound written in English. And here you note down how it sounds. Ah, ah. Okay, so we call this one the open mouth A sound. Let's see how it's written down. We start by writing something like the letter A first, same as letter A, plus one more line and then the top line. This is how A is written. The first vowel is A, A. The second vowel is A, A, A. One is a closed mouth A. The second one is a open mouth A. Mouth opens up wide when you're pronouncing this. A, A. We use the letter A to note down or write down both these sounds in English letters. Okay, in English letters, you would found you'll find that both these sounds are written with A. Let's go to the third one now. The third vowel is E. E. I call it the short E sound. How we note it down in English letter is usually it's written down with I. We use the letter I from English to denote or catch this particular sound. Okay, to depict this particular sound, usually the letter I is written, not E. Okay, but it sounds like a short E sound, not a long sound like E. It's a short sound. E. E. Let's see how to write this one. Small line, something like a letter S, a loop down like this, covered on the top. This is letter E. E. Short E. This is the sound. This is how it's written in English letters. This is how it's written in the script. This vowel, short E. Let's go to the next one now. The next is E. E. Sounds more like a double E or a long E. So earlier letter was a short E. This is a long E sound. E. To write this one in the script, start by writing something like the letter E given above and then put this hook on the top. That's it. This is the long E letter. E. E. To write down this particular sound or vowel in English letters, we again use the letter I. To write down this particular sound E, long E, in English letters also, we use I. Okay, like here in the first two you saw that we are using the letter A to write down A and A. Similarly, we are using the letter I to note down the third and fourth vowel. E, E. Usually you would see that people are spelling it with these letters. Okay, these sounds. And in brackets you are seeing how they sound, how they are pronounced. So the first one is A, then we have A, E, E. Okay, so let's see the four together. They sound like this: A, E, E, A, A, E, E. So close mouth, open mouth, A sounds, and then short and long E sounds. A, E, E. Also try to remember them and memorize them in this pattern. It helps you understand their differences better. Okay, let's go to the fifth one now. The fifth one is U. U. It's like a short U sound, like a double O. Short U. Not a very long one, but a short oo sound. Oo, oo. Let's see how it's written in the script. We draw something like a number 3 covered with a top line. This is oo. So we use the English letter U to write it down. Right, for writing down this oo sound, we use the English letter U. It sounds like this. Short oo. Not a oo, not a long oo sound, but a short one. Oo. This is the fifth vowel. Let's go to the sixth one now. The sixth one is oo. Now we note down the long sound for this vowel. Long double O sound. Ooh, ooh. Usually to write down this one also in English letters, we use U. We use the letter U. The sound is long ooh. To write down this one in the script, start by writing oo first, and then from the middle point here, bring a line down like this. This is ooh. So first you have number 5 is short oo, oo. This is the sound, and number 6 is long oo, oo. So I'll pronounce these two together. Oo, 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 oo. Okay. You see in all these vowels what's going on is the length. How long are you pronouncing them? The length of the sound matters a lot here. Like if we go from the start, if we pronounce all these, you would see the variation in length of these sounds as well. Let's start with the first one. A, a, e, e, u, u. There you go. A, e, e, u, u. A, e, e, u, u. That's how they sound. Try pronouncing them and remembering them in this pattern. You'll also understand which sounds are the short ones, which sounds or vowels are the long ones. Okay, memorizing in this pattern helps us. All right, let's go to the seventh one now. So here for the fifth and sixth, I'll again tell you, letter U is used to note down these two sounds. In English letters, they sound like this, oo, oo. And this is how they are written in the script. Let's go to the next one, the seventh one. The seventh vowel is re, re, re. Written like this, sounds also like this, re. Let's see how it's drawn. Straight line. Something like a letter V is connected here. And then we draw a small cursive R at this point. Line on the top. Let's see it again. Straight line. Something like a letter V attached to the mid of the line. At this point on the other side, you draw a small cursive R and a top line. This is how this letter is drawn. This is re, re. I know the E sound that you see in the pronunciation of this letter. You'd be wondering, why aren't we writing it with the letter E, isn't it? You must be thinking, if you're saying short E sound in this particular vowel, re, re, the E sounds like a short E at this point, isn't it? Re. But like I was telling you, whenever we are noting down this short E sound using English letters. The short E sound of Hindi, when it's written down using English letters, we do not prefer noting it down with the letter E. Instead, we prefer noting it down with the letter I. That's why here this particular sound re, re is written with the RI in English. Okay, RI in English is how it's noted down. This one, this is how it's pronounced, re, re, and this is how it's written in the script. All right, that's our seventh one. Let's go to the next vowel now. The next vowel is A. A. Okay. It sounds like the alphabet A of English. Remember A for apple? A for apple. The A is the pronunciation of this particular vowel that we learn now, the same A. Okay, this is how it sounds. Now let's see how it's noted down using English letters. Some people note it down as AY, some, and mostly people note it down like this with the letter E. Okay, usually people write it down with the letter E. The sound is A, A. I'm using the English letter A for noting its sound as well. A for apple, the same one. A for apple. This A sound is how this particular vowel is pronounced. A. Let's see how it's written first. To draw this one, you start with half a line, then curve it and bring another line down. It's like it's tilted down, half a line. Let me show you again. Just a moment. There's no curving, but it's like a separate line is drawn then. Half a line which is straight. Then another half of it goes down like this at an angle. Yeah. Then half of it again comes down, but this time it's tilted to join at this point. And then it's covered on the top. Let's see how to draw this one again. Straight half a line, tilted line down, half a line joining at this point, covered on the top. This is A, vowel number 8. A, A. This is how it's written in the script, Devanagari script. This is how it sounds, A. And usually, to note down this particular sound using English letters, few people note it down as a AY to remember A, but mostly I see that people note down this sound with letter E. Okay, they note down this vowel sound, this A sound with the letter E in English. Letter E from English is used to denote the A sound. So the way to write it in English is this. Sounds like A. This is how it's written in the script. A. Let's go to the next one, the ninth one. Next one is air. Air. This is how we note this sound in English letters. Air. sounds like a. To write this one, you draw something like an A letter first, the A letter, the previous letter, half a line, then a tilted line down. Let me draw it again neatly. Half a line, tilted line down, half a line curves in and joins here at this point. This. So A is drawn, but this time on the top from here you draw a tilted arm which curls up like this. A slightly tilted arm which circles in the end. This is the ninth one. A, a. You would notice that when you pronounce this one, the ends of the mouth, okay, the ends of your mouth pull back. Ends of the mouth pull backward when you pronounce this particular sound. Try that. A, a. The ends of our mouth. So if I'm drawing a mouth here, this end and this end will be pulled backward. You'll feel a stretch in your mouth at the end points or the tip points of your mouth. A, a. Okay. The previous letter we saw, that was A, A, number 8, and this one is A, A. Pull back the ends of your mouth to pronounce this one. It is written like A, but the addition is this arm on top. This arm, slightly tilted arm circled in the end, is the addition. A, 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 A. Number 8, A. Number 9, A. To note down this particular vowel, we use this combination of English letters. AI. AI is how it's written down mostly. A. A. Alright. Going on to the next one now, the 10th one. The next vowel is O. O. Like we say O for orange. O. That O sound. Okay, that O sound comes up in this particular vowel. O. Let's see how to write this one down first. We draw something like letter A first, the first vowel, A. We add another line, and then top of this line you draw this tilted arm circled in the end, and just the line part of it is covered. This is how O is written. O. O. Okay. O. Usually we write this particular vowel sound with the letter O itself. O. Mostly it's written with O letter itself. Okay. 11th one now. This sound is O. O. Written down as AU. Sounds a bit more like this. O. Like this. O. O. That's how it sounds. To write it down, you draw something like O first, and instead of one arm you put another slant arm on the top of the line. So number 10 has one single slant arm on the top, and number 11 has two arms on the top. This is the difference. O is number 10, sounds like O for orange, O. Number 11 is O, O. That's how it sounds. It's usually written down in English letters like this with AU. Sounds like this. O, O. and written in the Devanagari script like this. Okay, so if I say 10 and 11 together, it's going to be O, 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 O. That's how they sound. Okay, so these are all your vowels. Now what we'll do is we'll read them in a pattern so that it's easier for you to remember them in this pattern. So you can read it along with me now. We'll read all of them together. I'll go slowly so that you can also repeat with me. A, 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 E, E, U, U, Ri, E, E, O, O. So let's go in this pattern again. A, E, E, U, U, Ri, E, O, O. Let's do it again. A, E, E, U, U, Ri, E, O, O. Remember and practice these vowels in this pattern. It helps you pronounce the sounds right and remember the length of these sounds as well. So these are all the vowels we have in Hindi. Okay, so remember the pattern in which I've taught you. You would see it written down in English letters. All these sounds that you've learned today, this is how it will be written down in English letters. This is how it looks in the script, and this is how it is pronounced. Okay, so A is the first one, A is the second one, E third, E fourth, fifth, U, sixth, U, seventh, Re, eighth, A, ninth, A, 10th, O, 11th, O. Okay, so these are all your vowels. Let me know if you have any questions with respect to the pronunciation of these vowels or how they are written. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to help you out with that. Okay, I'll see you in the next lesson then.